Fantastic. So thank you for joining me. We invited a very limited team because we're going to launch the certification. We already did 2 in the past 2 years, and actually it's a very small group. Not only you need to have gone through the masterclass and the other program, but most importantly, want people that really have what it takes to take their culture design skills to the next level. So I'm going to walk you through some of what to expect if you're interested in joining the program, and then we're going to take it from there, have more of a conversation. But before we get started, I want to hear, why are you here? No, and of course, probably you're here because you're curious, but most importantly, why are you considering or entertaining the idea of joining the certification?
I'm curious to understand how this can be leveraged further into other areas and broaden my knowledge and depth and skill, etc. That's really my interest.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Very similar reasons for me. Really looking to broaden my understanding of some of the tools that I've already been exposed to, and more so really to have better ideas of where and how they can be applied, in which kinds of settings, how we can be more creative with them.
Fantastic. So in the right place, both. So one thing that I always caution people, there are people that have taken not only the 2 programs I mentioned, the Fearless Culture and the Masterclass, but also other programs that we run. And the approach for the certification, it's a different kind of program. This is not me bragging, but many of the participants have called it like a life-changing. So it's not a typical training where you're going to learn tools and blah, blah, but it's more about challenging your own skills, your own possibilities, about how to facilitate sessions, how to facilitate different tools, but also you're going to learn how to create your own tools. You're going to how to write articles and create your own sessions. So it's going to be more about taking your skills to the next level with everything you've learned, hopefully in the programs that we already facilitated. In terms of some of the topics that we will cover, I'm going to explain because the program also is a little bit flexible and weird in terms of how it works. So it's not like a 1 or 2 sessions per week. It's very flexible, and a lot of the work is done asynchronously, so everyone can run their progress at their own pace. We're going to talk about how to design sessions. So we're going to get deeper into not only what are the tools that we have, but also I know, Marin, that you sent me an email a couple of days ago and I haven't been able to respond. But for example, hey, I have this client with this issue. What are the tools that I have? But also, how do I get started? How do I design a 2-hour session or a full day session or a 3-day session? So getting more into the playing with the different toolkits and create customized sessions based on your clients and expertise. We're going to talk about how managing the session. Of course, the 2 of you and the other people that are watching this video are seasoned facilitators, but there's always a lot of things that you can learn, not just from me, of course, but from our participants and through debate. So what happens when people get upset? What happened when the leader that bought into the project suddenly says, you know what, this is going nowhere? I don't know. Managing those unexpected things that we always experience last minute. We're going to talk about how to design your own toolkit. We're going to coach you to design at least 1 or 2 canvases or tools of your own, customize it. I'm going to explain the principle. I've designed over, I'm not bragging, but just to give you an example, 100 tools, and they're different approaches. So, I'm going to share all the insights that I don't share that online with everyone. What are the 5 or 6 approaches you can take when it comes to designing a tool, but also how to tweak existing tools. So that's a very interesting piece. There are some people, and most of the participants, that have gotten and designed their first tool in under an hour, the first time they worked to us. So it's like everything is, there's some magic and process to it, and it's fascinating because people get, oh, wow, it's not that complicated. We're going to talk about different issues that people experience. So we're going to bring your real life experience if you're working with a client or something that happened 1 month, 2 months ago with a particular session that went really good, really bad, or neutral, and discuss those stuff. So we're going to spend a lot of time discussing how to deal with issues and unexpected surprises that happen in every workshop or session. The most important thing, and especially when it comes to people like you that are facilitating on a consulting, from a consulting standpoint, but also actually people in human resources or culture design that work within a company or team. It's about, rather than focusing on delivering a service or delivering an outcome, is how can you lead the conversation, how you can help the client understand what they want. Many times people reach out, leaders say, hey, I need to work on my culture, but they don't really know what they need. So helping to reframe the conversation is something that we're going to discuss. And also how to build your own authority and content. So like the idea is that each of you should come out of the program with a, not only, oh, I'm a certified, but also what's my take? What's my unique approach? What I bring to a table that none other consultants are bringing. So we're going to work on that uniqueness as well. I mentioned this is asynchronous first. Yeah, we're going to meet, but most importantly, the idea is that you can work at your own pace. Some people have completed the program in 4 months. Some people took 8 months, and that's okay. In the end, it's not getting a certificate. It's about the learning. So if you want to spend a year, that's okay. One thing that we're entertaining in the past, we have the cohorts were separated. My thinking for this new cohort that started in January is that the people that are be working, okay, they're going to be working together, but they're going to be part in the same group with other people that are already finished. So you're going to have the possibility to interact with people that already went through that. So it's going to be even more interesting. We have a special group for the team in Circle, so you can share everything there. It's much more interactive than the open community because people here are much committed, and also it's a smaller group. I was telling Sean at the very beginning that I'm looking for 6, maybe 8 at the most, no more than that, because it requires a lot of one-on-one support. The idea is to prepare ahead of the session, but also I'm going to be posting certain videos and surprises, not only the time that we meet all together in real time, but also giving you prompts or sharing stuff based on the conversation. So it's very customized, so to speak. I mentioned it's kind of 4 or 6 months. You're going to be able to have one-on-ones with me in which you can discuss whatever you need. So it's very flexible. And also we're going to meet as a group in real time, maybe once a month, maybe every 3 weeks. One thing that's important, I'm going to be sending participants like a link, and we're going to be voting, or you're going to be voting, not me, based on different. So sometimes maybe the time that we choose is perfect for Sean. Sometimes Sean needs to make a stretch. So we have people from different times, so making sure that everyone gets kind of to choose. You're also going to work on a personal challenge. The idea is for you to identify what's something that you want to develop. Is it a skill? Is it an area in which you feel really comfortable, but you want to challenge yourself? Is there something that you want to experience that you haven't because of fear, because of lack of time, because of lack of the right context, whatever it is? So you're going to define a challenge that you're going to put in place and you have to complete, but also there are multiple milestones that you need to achieve in order to get their certification. Talking about milestones, and with this, I finished my talk, and then I'm going to open the floor for questions, comments, etc. One of the prerequisites is that you facilitate 4 sessions, 4 workshops. Ideally, you're not doing the same workshop twice. So there are 4 different cultural design workshops within a 6-month period. If someone has an issue, I don't think that's the case, but sometimes we have people that couldn't find maybe a client or an occasion to do it. So we invited them to participate in some of the projects that we have with our clients to join us and have that experience. We also encourage that you actually participate. So the learning is not just about posting what you do, but also interacting with other members of the cohort. You're going to have to write and share an article about your experience using the toolkit or creating your own tool, or about the program. But it's important that it's not just a recap, but you have a point of view and you're sharing with the people, the outside world. As I mentioned, you're going to have to at least one method that's new. You're going to have to design it. It can be tweaking or rechanging something that already is in place, or coming with a tool that basically, let's say, I'm an expert on psychological safety or team rituals or radical candor, whatever that is. We're going to help you design a tool that is exclusive, made for you, and you can use not only to market yourself, but also to take your practice to a next level. And as I mentioned, your personal challenge. Okay. So that's kind of everything. Sorry for the long stuff, but I want to make sure we capture the approach and also the different elements. And now the floor is open for your questions or comments or whatever.
You had mentioned that in the past, some people might have had difficulties finding clients and how you dealt with that. Is there any help in actually working on that side of our business? In other words, how to go out and find those clients and how to position. I mean, I know you had mentioned the content and positioning yourself as an expert.
Yeah, we're going to talk about, for example, like marketing, how to reach out to new clients. So the marketing side of the business too. No, so.
Okay. And that if someone
is that what you mentioned, like how, for example, how to look for new clients and things like that? Yeah.
Basically, exactly.
Yes.
How to sort of reach, beyond our current contact network and build a pipeline of clients, as it were.
Absolutely. And one thing that I forgot to mention in that regards is, like, for example, there are some projects for the nature, size, or location that we cannot handle with our teams. So we have maybe send those to people that are certificated, as well as when I have clients that, I mean, we have 4 or 5 projects at the same time and we need more people to join. You're also going to be part of that pool that we can invite you to help. So
great. Sean, I don't want to monopolize. Maybe you have a question?
No, you hit the nail on the head. That was one of my questions as well, was around the leverageability of it from a new client sales marketing perspective. So more on you, nail on the head, definitely. Thank you for asking that. Nothing else really cropped up for me, Gustavo, during the session. Just looking back through my notes here. Is there a let's call it a qualification piece, or is it qualification piece, or is it like continual assessment where those milestones are the hurdles that you need to achieve?
Those are mostly the milestones. We don't take like an exam like other certifications do. And why? Mm-hmm. Because I think this is more about each person developing their skills and taking their journey in their own way rather than accomplish things in a particular way. So as I mentioned, the milestones, each person takes them differently. So there's one of participants that actually wrote 3 articles. Another person developed 5 tools. Another people just stick to the bare minimum. We're not here to judge, we're here to push people. For some people, I mean, for example, if I were to take the certification, for me, writing 3 articles wouldn't be a challenge. For some, so the point is where you're starting and making sure that you are doing something that for you is meaningful. I'm going to push you because we're going to have those one-on-ones. We're going to get into a group, and it's very, as I mentioned, it's less of a training and it's more of a working together. And in that sense, I'm going to put more of my coach hat and push you a little bit more than I used to when we were training.
Okay, cool.
But how far, that's up to you. So I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable, but not too much. So unless you give me permission to go deeper.
Not so much that we want to quit.
No one have quit. No one, yeah, that's another point. And I think that in the end, it's about equipping people with different stuff. So sometimes people feel, I've been using the tools and stuff, but it's like we want you to cut the cord in which you feel that you can develop your own stuff. So like people feel, developing my own tool, that's hard. I never did it. Well, you're going to do it. And once you do it once, you're going to feel, I can do it twice and thrice.
Yeah. So I have 2 more little questions, if I may. The first one is related to the tools. How do you feel about combining the fearless culture canvases and the method of thinking that you have with some other tools that are out there that, maybe making some hybrid combinations with other sort of pre-existing skills that we may have or tools that we might have? That's question 1. And the other one, sorry, I'll just throw everything at you and then
yeah.
Then I'll stop talking. The other one is when you mentioned publish an article, are there requirements as to where it needs to be published in terms of like what counts as publishing? Is LinkedIn, does that count as a publishing, or does it need to be a certain type of?
No, it counts. LinkedIn or any other, if you have a personal blog, that counts. So you don't need to publish in a major news outlet. The most important thing, it's about the thoughts behind the article. So it's not about where you publish it, but actually where we're encouraging people is not just write something, but actually come up with something that differentiates you as a consultant. So it's what's your perspective, what's your take. So when people read, they'll say, oh, I'm going to hire Maren because of her unique point of view, right? And of course, if you need help, I'm going to help you, and the community and myself, we're going to also promote it. Not so wherever you publish, we're going to give you full support, even including your article in our newsletter that goes to 50,000 people. So people are going to read it. Going to the other question, I think they relate. I use not only tools that I have created, but also I use tools that have been created by other people, because I don't think I have all the answers. Actually, there are people that are brighter than I do. And in your case, and I see the emotional culture deck there right next to your guitar, among other things. Once again, we don't want to force you to say, yeah, because I went through this certification, I only need to use the Fearless Culture framework. There are some philosophical approach that, of course, is going to be there. But in the end, what we want is for you to build your practice and your approach, your unique way. So everything you know, like how you can connect it to the framework rather than it's one or the other. So this is not like Gallup or those stuff that either you're in or you're out. No, that's not I think you know me, but in case you need a reminder, like it's all flexibility. So
fantastic. Thank you.
And actually, maybe you have things that you develop that then other people can benefit from those as well. So definitely.
Works both ways for sure.
I'm curious, Gustavo, to understand, what does success look like for Fearless Culture / you from this activity and this piece that you're building?
That's a great question. I think that I'm going to start from the bigger picture. And one of the reasons people ask me why do I offer so many things that are open to the public, it's because I'm getting old, so at some point I'm not going to be here forever, and we cannot wait on one person or one team or one company to make change happen. I think that the problem that we're tackling, which is improving workplace culture, improving teamwork, improving leadership, and many other stuff that are related. Look at the pain that people like Trump here in the US or Elon Musk in Tesla, now Twitter, are creating to employees and regular human beings. It's so complicated and complex that we need millions of people to solve it. So for me, success looked like increasing the number of people that can really create a positive impact. Not just that, oh, I know a tool, I'm going to use it, but actually people that can take the game to the next level. So basically amplifying their impact, amplifying their possibility to do great things. And from a more, if you mean selfish standpoint, it's when we need more capacity, we have people that we can collaborate with. So.
Yeah, thank you. And the last question from me then, I think, was what's the investment?
The cost, I can remember, it's around $2,000, something like that, for the program. And if you need any type of financing or whatever, then talk to Patricia at HelloFearlessCulture. She manages everything. So I don't know what she does, but whatever decision she makes.
She does a great job.
Well, I know, but she has full authority to make any choices in that regard. So
fantastic.
I want to separate myself from the operations and finance. And so we're good.
Good. Okay, that's all the things I had. So thank you for fearing that. Sorry for answering that. That was really insightful. I've been meaning to ask that even through our other sessions, just to get an insight into why.
No, absolutely. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great question and a really wonderful answer as well. I'm glad you asked that, Sean. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have any other questions either.
So fantastic. So I'm going to finish my Thanksgiving cooking for tonight. No, hopefully. So think about it. And if you have any other questions, let me know. And for those who are watching the recording, you're welcome. Remember, we want to keep the team small. Last time we have 8 people. I'm trying to maybe cut it at 6. 8 will be a stretch if you convince me that you need to be there. So if you're making a decision, let me know before the end of the year. We are going to plan to start probably mid-January. And as I said earlier, I'm going to send a survey to all participants so we accommodate the schedules to everyone's convenience. Good?
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Sounds
So
good.
have a great day, enjoy, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
And happy Thanksgiving. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.